Welcome to Verbal People Radio. We give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. We have another incident where the outcome is obviously different than the outcome of black and brown males. And I will speak only on one case, which there's many more I can pull from. We'll talk about the Dylan Roof and the church shooting in Carolina, where he killed church members after he sat and prayed with them. Went on the run. They caught up with him. Took him to go handcuff him. Took him to go get a hamburger. Fed him. And they also raised money for his defense after killing black churchgoers at their own church. That they let him in. But still, who'd have thought? You sitting praying with these people. You act like you needed help. A wolf comes in there amongst sheep. They let him in, and Dylan Roof Wolf killed those black people. Black men, happens all over America. Traffic stop, tail light out, any excuse. First, the officer approaches you aggressively. So right then and there, you're kind of fighting for your life. So once that fight or flight kicks in, and you pursue to flight, and all of a sudden you shot in the back, and they say that it's justifiable homicide. What the hell is going on? Another incident. Alabama inmate Casey White, who fled with Vicky White, who was an officer who helped him escape. She winds up killing herself due to the embarrassment and the guilt and the shame and the fact that she didn't want to go to jail, so she took the way out and killed herself. And this guy walks out in handcuffs. It says authorities have released the latest booking photo for failed Alabama jail escapee Casey Cole White, who appeared before a judge late Tuesday and was carted back to a state prison after 11 days on the run, right? Now look, Casey White, he's 38. He appeared stone-faced. Wait, he appeared stone-faced? You mean, why didn't they say a brutally bad and beaten face? Right? When they finally caught up with him, this dude had no marks on his face whatsoever. I mean, at least take a pen or a pencil and scratch him. Paper cut, do something. You know, can you imagine if that was a young black male crash, he's running from the police officers, and a gunshot went off in the car? Man, they would have lit him up. A gun, even if the gun was the officer's gun, but the fact that he was in close proximity to a gun, that's enough for death. This is ridiculous. Casey White, there was a gun opportunity in the car. He had an opportunity to grab that gun and fire at the officers. The point I'm trying to make is they gave him the benefit of the doubt, which so many young black men do not get the benefit of the doubt. We see it time and time again. He appears stone-faced in the latest mugshot image, wearing a tan-colored top. Stop there. You can still see that his top was tan-colored. Had he been a black male, it would have been red. Later said in his blood-soaked shirt. But clearly, tan-colored top. Hey, hey man, this dude, he just escaped from prison. He was in close proximity to a gun. He crashed his car. He took us on a high-speed chase. And, hey, it is what it is. Young black male, totally different headline, totally different response, totally different report. Young black male, he was shot dead in the getaway car as he was trying to flee from police officers who was in hot pursuit because he had escaped from a prison. That'd have been that. White privilege, I'm telling you. Said wearing a tan colored top and staring. Right. Wearing a tan colored top and he was staring in the camera for his mugshot. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I'm still, it says wearing a tan colored top and staring straight into the camera. Meaning he could open both his eyes and look right into that camera. He didn't have two black eyes. One of his eyeballs wasn't hanging out. He was still alive after a high-speed chase. And they're gonna extradite him back to Alabama. Wow, this is something. The murder suspect was extradited from Evansville, Indiana to Lauderdale County in Alabama on Tuesday, arriving just before 10 p.m. local time. He appeared briefly before a judge. He was then sent to the state-run William E. Donaldson Correctional Facility. Right, he made it out of it. He made it out of this ordeal unscathed. Right. Not Vicky though. Vicky died in the hospital because the police didn't shoot her. She shot herself. I guess she said, "Hey, I'm gonna go out like a black male. Like I'm shooting myself. Somebody got to die in this thing. I don't know, but I guess she knew the cops and both of them was white, and there was white cops in pursuit. I guess she felt like, hey, nobody's gonna shoot me. They're not gonna do it. I'm gonna have to do it myself. Save myself the embarrassment. Save myself the shame. Save the fact that I don't want to be locked up. So we ended out here. I know Casey. He'll be okay. He's a white guy. They're not gonna. The most they'll do is probably put the handcuffs on him a little too tight. Not too tight, just a little too tight. Teach him a lesson. Good thing you're not a black male there, Casey, because you wouldn't be breathing at this point. Wow, this is unbelievable. Again, Dylan Roof. Now, Casey White. A murder suspect, a prison escapee on the run, a deadly lethal weapon in his vicinity, and he walks away without a scratch. Police officers, in the way he was walking. If you go back and look at after he was captured, he was walking at his pace, right, in his stride. Even though his legs were shackled and he was in handcuffs, they wasn't pushing and making him move fast like you see them do so many black people that are in custody or brown. They marched to his pace. He walking calm, cool, collectively, and they was right there with him on his beat, on his marching orders, on his marching beat rhythm. They walked right aside of him at his pace. Showing that shows a sense of solidarity. Look at if there had been a black person in custody, he'd be running with a little slight run. Not enough where he can trip and fall over, but they be walking fast, moving. He'd be tired trying to keep up, moving his legs in those shackles. But not Casey White, not white. White was able to just walk on his own accord at his own pace, not bruised, no black eyes, no blood running down from his forehead, no gunshot wounds nowhere in the body. I mean, you can't write this stuff. You cannot write this stuff, but it is what it is. Now, I do want to say this. America was much better when black people were at the center of focus of attention. And when there is black leadership. When Obama was in office, black leadership says, look, I know I'm black, but I'm the president for all of America, so we're going to balance this thing off and try to be as equal as possible to all members of America, right? Trump got in office. It was for whites, by whites, and whites only. And everybody else, you get whatever we give you. Black Lives Matter protest. What Trump say? We're going to crack some heads. Can we shoot him? Can we just shoot him in the leg? Right? And what they fail to realize is that it created an unbalance. See, when you lean so hard one way, you causes the opposition to fight back just as hard. Because there's no balance. Because you got to fight to create a balance. Right? But when Trump was in office, he erased that balance line and tilted it too far. So now people are fighting, trying to balance it back even. And it's a fight. It's a fight. Any person with good sense would know to do everything you can to avoid that fight. They would have checked Trump and said, hey, no, it's too far, can't do that. It's too far, you're going too far. You don't just sit and ride along and go along with it. Right? Because the off balance is not good for nobody. When you're off balance, that means something's getting ready to tip over. Something's getting ready to sink unless you can balance it back. And the sad part about it is the reason why it's unbalanced makes no sense at all. It shouldn't even be unbalanced. That's the sad part about it. It should not be unbalanced whatsoever. Especially in as much progression we've made as a country in 2022. That'll go back to the 1800 days of that ideology, that mindset is over with. You can't bring it back. And by you trying to force it back, you only create more damage than you are good. I hope we can get it together. And another thing too, black folk, look, what was it Dixon who said that if you ever have to put a black in charge, put one that's incompetent. That way, when it's time, that way when you want to regain it or take it back, there won't be a big fight about it, a big fuss about it, right? And black folk, you gotta watch out. Sometimes a situation or propaganda or a lifestyle will purposely be created, that they'll create it and they'll make it tantalizing to have you join in. Once you join in, you then become the owners of it and they'll step back, right? And then they'll make it seem like you originated it and you are the ones responsible for everyone partaking in this type of behavior, a lifestyle. And then they sit at the table and say, well, in order to get rid of it, we got to do something about them because they are the ones that's cheerleading this type of behavior or this type of lifestyle, even though they were the ones that created the lifestyle or that type of behavior in the first place. But they need a poster child for it, and they're not going to put their own on it unless it's something good. But anything that's deemed negative, they will make sure you are the poster child for it, although you wasn't the originators of it. You get what I'm saying? And they will parade you around, give you a little money, so you can recruit others to feel like, hey, this is all right, this is it, I'm joining in, let's make this happen, right? Then before you know it, you're wondering why you being attacked. Because they turned the tables, and now they made it. At one point, it was the popular thing to do, and it was accepted. Then later on, they deemed, okay, this is not acceptable no more, and you are the ones that are the spearheading it, so we have to come after you. And you like, hey, wait, what's going on? You know, I thought we was on the same side. They like, yeah, right. You know, you been fooled again. You got saying, Django. It is what it is. Verbal Prick Radio. We're out.